rock's red? Good question. Anybody have any idea?
Clay.
Well, clay is actually clear. Something would have to give clay a color. What would that be?
Some kind of mineral.
Yeah, some kind of mineral.
Mineral.
Right.
We're on the right track. How about if I show you it? What's that?
Iron.
There you go.
Rust.
Winner!
Rust. Yeah, it's rust. That's right.
Iron comes from a mineral. Comes from
Or-
a mineral like that. This is where the iron, this is where the red comes from. Don't look red, you gotta add water to it. And once I add water to it, I should have a red thumb.
Oh, you sure do.
Now ladies have jewelry made of this. This is hematite, iron. So it's been flushed up by seawaters. Sedona right down there used to be the coastline. There's no California 300 million years ago. This is where the seawaters came in. So the water's back here. These are shallow seas out in here. You wouldn't see any mountains, hills, green trees, or red. Kind of picture it like the Sahara Desert out here, white sand dunes. And I like to bring the moon into play. A very important part about Sedona is the moon. The moon's drifting away from us, who didn't know that, about that much a year. Take that into account. 300 million years at 2 inches a year, the moon's 10,000 miles closer. You know how the tides are affected by the moon. Well, look on these red rocks. You can see the bathtub rings, especially right there where the coxcomb is. Camel's Caravan. Big water coming here, moving this sand. In the water was the iron, and it stained each grain of sand. So you notice the reds at only a certain height out here, is about 700 feet high. Then you get that lighter rock back there behind it. That's beach sand that came from Colorado. Colorado and Utah used to be sand dunes. And what happens, the wind blew that sand down in here and it settled up on top of that. So the same water covered it, hardened it, turned everything into sandstone that you're looking at there. This ain't making any sense, is it? Why is all, you mean to tell me the water was up on top of these? No. If you look way back there, guys, back behind Sedona, you see that plateau back there. That edge used to be 9 miles, so it was right about in here is where that edge used to be. That was an uplift that happened here about 80 million years ago. So underneath the ground, plate tectonics lifted the whole landmass up here because this was the Pacific side, Pacific plates under here. So everything lifted here, 2,000 feet high. So it puts the bottom of the sea at the high points. Now if you go over there to Bear Mountain, walk around up on top, you'll find these guys up there, seashells. The bottom of the sea's up there. Okay, guys? So why are we down here, not up there? We were. We're right at the end up here. So this would have been 2,000 foot higher right here. So we would have been right on top of that back there. Again, that's 9 miles distance from the edge to here. So when it lifted, it tilted. And once you get a tilt on a plateau, where's the water going to go when it rains? Over the edge. Like Niagara Falls is moving, much slower rate. This has moved 9 miles in 80 million years. That's where it is now. So as it starts moving back, it starts exposing all this sand that the seawaters have carried in here. So you're looking at erosion. 1 foot every 600 years is coming off of this rock. Every time it rains, every time it snows, every time the wind blows, it takes a little bit more off of this rock. So this will be sand dunes in somebody's lifetime. But we see Sedona the way it is. All erosion. So what is the lift back there? How big is it up on top? Believe it or not, you can put 3 states of Ohio up there and still have room left over. That's how big that is. That's the Colorado Plateau. The other side of that is in Grand Junction, Colorado. That's the leading edge. That goes 240 miles into New Mexico that way. That was the lift that happened out there. So what's up on top of that? Colorado, Grand Canyon, all the national parks in Utah are up on top of that. There's your geology. Any questions about that? Iron, that's what you need to know. So
Oxidation.
hematite, if you can think, oxidation, that's right. It's